Um, I had to fly out of town today, and just a quick flight to go sign some papers or whatever. And on the way back, I was reading the Richmond Times Dispatch, and I saw an article about this club. It's called Have a Nice Day Cafe, and it's in Shockoe Bottom here in Richmond, Virginia, in the River District. And a couple of people have been killed beside the club this year. So I understand why they always say, such and such was killed beside Have a Nice Day, because when people talk about specific geographical locations, what they use is landmarks. And that's the landmark that was used. You know what I mean? And so, but this is the thing though. They always say beside Have a Nice Day Cafe. However, on both sides of Have a Nice Day Cafe are parking lots that aren't owned by the club. And when you're any kind of business owner, you're basically only responsible for the real estate that the club owns. So if I own a particular piece of property or real estate, and somebody happens to get hurt on my property, then it's my fault. I'm liable. My insurance is liable. However, if they get hurt off of my property, it's not my fault. And that's funny because if you ever been to Have a Nice Day Cafe, you know that one, their security is extremely tight. Two, they don't serve drinks to underage people. Three, they got cops and security out there. So there's no way you can get a gun in the club. Nobody has been shot or murdered in the club. It's been happening outside the club, where there's a parking lot where people have access to their cars. In my opinion, I think the most logical solution, because I was reading the paper and it was like, they're gonna up the age. That's kind of discriminatory, because in other parts of the city you still can be 18 or under and go to clubs. It's like you're targeting a segment of the population. Not only that, young people are gonna have somewhere to go. They like that particular club. Now, if you don't know, well, I don't know how many people the club holds, but if you don't know where they are at some point in time during a Friday, whatever days that, they have their functions, man, those young people are gonna be in the street running wild. At least in the club, they are contained in the security atmosphere. What I think would be the most logical solution is to secure the parking lot. I mean, whoever owns that should be forced, to provide some type of security. I've been to clubs in other cities where they'll tell you, hey, we'll search your car. I think that would be the most logical solution, because, putting age restrictions, that means, the police gonna start walking around asking for ID, and being that that club is targeted towards that segment of the population, that means that club would not be filled anymore. So not only will young people not have nowhere to go, but what are people who now survive off of that business gonna work? We just can't keep pushing people in the street based on the actions of others. The club owner ain't selling guns, so why should he be punished? I think we need to come up with more comprehensive solutions to these complex problems. I mean, just saying you're gonna do something, just jumping out there with an idea because it sounds good, makes absolutely no common sense. I mean, some homework need to be done, some research. You know what I mean? And it's common sense that the approaches that people have been using just don't work. I mean, we keep having the same problem, but they trying a lot of solutions that they know not gonna work. And it all boils down to what I said before. Excuse me. Until you can change the mindset of an individual, and that's on a whole nother playing field, nothing is gonna happen, man. I mean, and the mindset isn't changed in Richmond. You can try the most drastic tactics that you can think of, but if the mind isn't changed, the same shit gonna happen. Regulations will get bent, rules gonna get old, and the same shit gonna happen. However, when you change the mind, you ain't gotta worry about nothing else changing. I mean, it's evident. I mean, it's gonna evolve because the thinking is different. So, in my opinion, and then when the papers say, it was killed at Have a Nice Day, I think they're using that as a landmark, although it's not right, but that's what people do. Like if you said something happened on 18th of Main, first thing they're gonna say is right by the gas station or right in front of McDonald's. All right, cool. But I think they should clear up the fact that nobody has been caught in club, Have a Nice Day, with a gun. Outside the club with a gun. These people were going to their cars in the parking lot. I mean, but the club owner didn't have any jurisdiction. He doesn't even own the parking lot. That's insane. So, I think they require the parking lot owner to have some sort of security. You know what I'm saying? And, random, just straight up check your car when you pull in that bitch. Like, you gonna park right here or we looking at your shit. If not, go the fuck down the street. Straight up. Put a sign on that bitch like they do in court. I'm just saying, court. Everyone entering this building is prohibited to search. That should have stopped that shit. Niggas start. If a nigga gonna kill somebody, a nigga gonna do it anyway. It's just that it's more accessible to do it when you got your gun on hand. You know what I mean? Look at this shit.